Hello, everybody. Welcome to another live Business Breakthrough Google Hangout. It's Glenn Dietzel here, live from our international office, and I'm really excited about this week's training. One of the core competencies that my clients invest in, and there are actually a set of core competencies around closing high-end deals, given the new realities of the advisory age today. And one of those core competencies is in pitching. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another live Business Breakthrough Google Hangout. Turn off my Hangout here, live from our international office, and I'm really excited. All right. Those things happen sometimes. I have myself playing on another computer here in our office right here. So anyways, I want to share with you today one of these systems to help you pitch deals. In today's marketplace, never have I seen more coaching companies failing, and not just failing, but failing at an accelerated rate. So many clients that come into the Canadian Lake Home for a one-day business acceleration intensive, or so many of my Omega Mind clients have invested in coaching programs, and they're basically a one-size-fits-all model, if you will. You know the typical business guru model, I'm sure, to help you build a coaching practice. It goes something like this. You use a traditional business funnel. You start with low-end products and services. You add greater and greater higher-end programs and services. You charge $400, $500 per month for 3 or 4 sessions. You don't get paid up front. And other, if you will, faulty information and advice that simply doesn't work in today's marketplace. That's all around quick thinkers, decisive decision makers, and people that can fast implement. And today's marketplace is all about knowing how to create speed as your competitive advantage. So what we're going to do today is we are going to focus on how to frame your coaching business versus your enemy. All right, that's our thesis, if you will. We're not, today's marketplace, if you're thinking around topics and you're putting a program together, you never want to think about wishy-washy languaging like a topic. All right, that's wishy-washy language. Might have worked in the information age, but the advisory age, it's all around providing specific advice, gated around specific problems, and you are paid to be a trusted advisor, just like Kel Jensen, who was our feature cover story for our October issue, and really excited about our November issue of Lifestyle Entrepreneur magazine that will be coming out very soon. So I want to move forward here with you, and the advice that I provide is going to be along the lines and very similar to, but just in a microcosm, if you will, today, in the kind of specific advice and very specific recommendations that I provide at Christmas at the Canadian Lake Home, which is our one-day business acceleration intensive in December. And last year, it filled within about 3.5 hours. It filled quickly. Everybody, entrepreneurs from all over the world wanted to come to that one. All of our one-day intensives fill very, very quickly, but that one last year filled super quickly. Christmas at the Canadian Lake Home. And if you want more details, you can go to that URL. I'll go back just in a second. I'm going to be disappearing back and forth here because I want to teach you at an accelerated rate, and I want you to follow, because everything today is about accelerated teaching and learning and closing deals and knowing how to frame yourself away from what your competitors are doing. So no longer is it good just to talk about what it is that you do. And so many well-meaning coaches, consultants, and trainers who've paid a lot of money for other coaching services are taught to lead with benefits, advantages, because everybody knows that benefits and advantages are what sell, right? And not features, as important as features are. However, I'll tell you that in the advisory age, that is an absolute mistake, to lead with your positioning and your market differentiation with that kind of advice. And you don't want to do it. So what do you want to do? You might be asking me, which is the logical question, right? Well, that's what we're going to cover today. And I'm just going to showcase again or allude to the Canadian Lake Home one-day business acceleration event intensive, which is Christmas at the Canadian Lake Home in December. And it's a day for you to come in, should you qualify. And we have a very specific vetting process because we have top flight entrepreneurs coming in from all over the world. And I need to be true to the integrity of the process. And so there are a couple of specific steps that everybody needs to make just to make sure that I have the right candidates who really want to come in and spend a one day focusing on their business and really focusing on true business acceleration. And that's Christmas at the Canadian Lake Home at a very exclusive venue, and an opportunity for you to look at your business and be given some of the systems and processes. I take you through step by step how I've built one of the fastest growing coaching and consulting companies globally. And it's not because I'm smart, and it's certainly not because I'm smarter than you. All of my clients are smarter than me. I've just put enough time in enough industries, over 11,000 hours in over 120 industries, to figure a few things out, and have been fortunate enough to create some serious business traction that got me into a lot of different, and got my company into a lot of different industries so quickly that we had to figure things out really quickly around how to command maximum fees and royalties for high-end programs and services. So this is our one-day business acceleration intensive, Christmas at the Canadian Lake Home, and it's at newgurumodel.com/one-day, so you can get more details right there. What I'd like to do, though, before we go into it, I'm going to give you 2 case studies today, and I'm going to showcase to you what I do. And this is what my clients pay for. This is why they invest in our Omega Mind program, because they want to grow a coaching, consulting, training program a lot faster than what they're doing right now. And in fact, they want to build a company at an accelerated rate, and they want to really position high-end programs and services and command maximum fees and royalties. And there's no one teaching this today. So I want to start with groundwork, if you will. 5 rules of education-based selling. So you're probably going to want to, I'm just going to come back here just for a second. You're probably going to want to take a few notes because we're going to go very quickly. And I want to show you how to, I'm going to give you 2 systematic processes, or processes, depending on where you live. Our international office does hail in Canada, and but I do say process, but you'll forgive me if I don't say it correctly from according to where you live. However, you're not paid, or you're not on here to listen to my nuances of language difference, but you are here to learn and to accelerate and to grow your company. So let's take a look at, first of all, 5 rules of education-based selling. This is crucial that you understand this. First of all, you want to make your potential clients more intelligent about their problems that you solve. Okay, so this is about, again, this is the theme of Lifestyle Entrepreneur magazine, is teaching the readers of Lifestyle Entrepreneur magazine how to solve their problems, make them more intelligent about their problems. Secondly, you want to give them better education than what your competitors are doing. All right, and that's my goal right now, is to provide you better education than what you are currently paying for with your own coaching program. So many of my clients are in other people's programs, and they find us out and they say, man, why didn't I find you out at the beginning? And they invest in our programs, and pretty soon they're just focusing their attention on what my very specific recommendations around how to accelerate your business. So if you like business acceleration, if you want to educate your ideal clients to self-select themselves into your programs and services, you're going to absolutely want to know how to frame what you do compared to what your competitors do. All right. So we want to get rid of the enemy. That's crucial. All right. The enemy is your competition. So we got to educate them better. Thirdly, we got to provide your potential candidates for your programs education, and we need to do it in a way that puts yourself in the power position. That is crucial. You can't showcase weakness. You're in business to close deals. You're in business to vet potential candidates for your programs, which means you have a natural qualification process and, by definition, a disqualification process. Next, You want to frame your advice in a way that gets your potential client to want to buy from you, and only you, and you long term, just like my clients do. And just like my clients are teaching their clients to do. All right. This is the perfect business building model. Why? Because it really leads with train the trainer. I train my clients to in turn replicate what I'm doing so they can go in their markets and do the very same thing. You want to provide yourself the opportunity to leverage yourself as the trusted advisor in the recommendation age or in the advisory age. All right, so that is crucial. And the next picture that I'm going to show you here. So you're getting it, first of all, the 5 rules of education-based selling. Now, we're not talking about value-based selling. I really want to focus on education-based selling. And we've got systems and programs. All of our clients have access to the Ultimate Offer formula, which is a guided step-by-step process to help our clients close deals. And it culminates with me even getting on the phone with them and closing deals, or my clients, my Omega Mind clients, that work with each other to help each other close deals. That is the ultimate form of execution, is modeling. Modeling is the #1 way that we learn. All right. So we're going to move into now our 2-pronged process for framing. Okay. So I want you to follow this carefully. I'm going to go through it once. Step 1 and step 2, and then I'm going to go through it again, step 1 and step 2, with 2 different examples for you to understand. All right. So where we left off here was a picture of the Canadian lake home. This was a picture last Friday. We had this massive storm that came into the Canadian lake home. This happens periodically, and every week on our Google Hangouts, I like to showcase what's going on at the Canadian lake home, either clients that come in, our 1-day business acceleration intensives, our Omega Mind intensives, which we have a 3-day intensive next week. And all of you that are on Omega Mind, I am so excited about what we're going to be doing over these 3 days. It will blow your mind about how fast you can execute. And that's what these 3-day intensives are all about, is about execution. And here's a great way of showcasing the kind of momentum that my clients get and that you're going to receive in today's training as we move forward here. This was a major storm. The beach disappeared, and everybody was safe. However, it was a pretty intense storm that just came through. Okay, let's move into our 2-pronged approach then in terms of framing your company and framing yourself in a way that we are going to annihilate, decimate, dominate your competition. Because if you remember a rule, and I provided you 7 rules just a few weeks ago on the 7 rules of how to build, or 7 specific pieces of advice that I can almost guarantee you're making most of those, if not all of those, mistakes with your own coaching, consulting, and training company. And one of those was the principle or the rule that that competing is not enough anymore. You've got to want to dominate. It's absolutely crucial. Just merely competing, there's too much competition in the marketplace. So you've got to frame yourself, and you've got to frame yourself away from what all of the others are doing, or what the typical expert gurus are doing in your industry. Okay, you following me? So step number 1, then, you want to define your enemy and make a clear framing statement. Okay, so make sure you write that down. Define your enemy and make a clear framing statement. And you want to use the 4 who, that, unlike formula to iterate your positioning and differentiate your brand to stand out clearly and in a big way from your competition. So in today's marketplace, it's all around not just, differentiating yourself in a minute way, but in a massive way, in a huge way, in a paradigm format way, okay? A huge paradigm shift that you want to present in your marketplace. It's crucial, because if you just try to differentiate yourself a little bit, your potential candidates are already so overwhelmed with too much information, thanks to the information age, they simply won't pay attention to your messaging. So you've got to hear me and you've got to follow me carefully here in what I am teaching you. All right. So let me give you an example with our 30-second pitch formula for new guru model. Okay, using this formula that I just went through here, the for, who, that, unlike. Okay, so it works this way. So if I'm differentiating myself, I want to differentiate myself. I'm going to come back here just for a second. I'm going to differentiate myself clearly from what the main advice is in my industry. This is crucial. You don't want to just talk about features and benefits, because just talking about features, benefits and advantages, which I'll sell, right? You've heard the concept of sell the sizzle before you sell the steak. In the advisory age, you've got to also sell steak. You can't just sell sizzle, because people, your potential candidates, have been hyped at too much, thanks to direct response marketing, thanks to the online world. So you've got to have a way of knowing how to deductively and inductively and abductively message your advice. And if you don't know what those are, then you definitely want to get some prior training that I've done. And you definitely want to start thinking about maybe acting like our Omega Mind clients, who are decisive decision makers, who are quick thinkers, number 2, and number 3, they're quick implementers, and they make a decision to come to the Canadian Lake Home to be trained in our accelerated business systems, because they want accelerated teaching and learning. All right. So you've got to frame yourself not just nebulously talking about what you do, but you've got to do it from the standpoint of what your competitors fail to do. All right. So let's go through this very carefully here. So this is my 30-second pitch formula for new guru model. For coaching leaders, so identify who I'm speaking to, wanting to command maximum fees and royalties for high-priced programs. Okay, notice again, I'm leading deductively. Big picture, 30,000-foot view. And I want to now contrast, and this is how the human mind thinks. It thinks in moving pictures. And it thinks in order to have moving pictures, you've got to have the ability to contrast. All right. It's one of the reasons why I teach all of my clients to diagram out their competitive advantage. Okay. So the second line then is who are dissatisfied with using a business funnel that makes the sales cycle for premium price programs too long. Okay. Following the typical guru model today, expert model simply elongates the sales cycle. And in today's marketplace that demands speed, it fails to deliver cash flow for coaching companies that want to grow and not only survive, but thrive. Next line then, my new guru model is a new business acceleration model, okay? So I'm defining the name of the program, the category. Now I'm going to differentiate myself again. So in the second line here, we're dissatisfied with the business funnel. That makes it, so I'm differentiating myself with what the typical experts gurus do. And in my next line then, that provides today's entrepreneurs the ability to invert the business funnel and create and profit from your own premium price training, certification, and private white label coaching programs, okay? This is one of the reasons why my clients absolutely love our systems, because we teach them how to instantly command maximum fees and royalties using accelerated processes like training, certification, private white label coaching, and all the templates, blueprints, and action steps and guides in order to be able to close deals in the next 7 to 14 days. And then finally, so we use the for, who, that, and the last line then is the unlike. And unlike other coaching programs, my system teaches you how to get paid upfront for high-priced programs and enter new markets quickly as the #1 position company. Okay. Notice again. Okay, I've differentiated myself from my competitors at line 2 and line number 5. So, and most experts and gurus teach people to charge by the month and bill them monthly, and other faulty advice that simply just kill your profit margins and kill the fact that very few clients will ever succeed, or clients of yours will succeed in this business model. So they've got to have skin in the game. And our systems teach our clients how to do this. All right. So that is the formula, step number one. Now let's move into step number two. So we want to take this formula and I want you to work through your own positioning following the formula. Then we want to pitch the idea or pitch your coaching program in a conversation-like way, all right? And I'm a real big believer in scripting. I script a lot of things. My clients love our systems because I give them a lot of scripts to work from, a lot of word patterns, and closing deals so that they can build a business, truly build a business quickly and using my methodologies that I've spent over 11,000 hours putting together. So step number two then is you want to drive home the key difference, which is your magic. Okay. Remember I said you've got to have a quantum differentiation compared to what your competitors are doing, or a huge paradigm shift. And that is going to reflect your magic. Okay. You've got to have some magic because that's how the human mind is wired to pay attention to you. There's got to be some magic. There's got to be something that's profoundly different than what you're teaching versus what others teach, and how you execute or assist your own clients versus how others assist their own clients, okay, your competitors. So let's move into step two here. And you want to tell your potential candidate for your program clearly and powerfully what makes you stand out. That's crucial. So I want to iterate now for you in step number two. Okay, so here is a script that I've created for my own company. Look, if you want to start a coaching business and want to play safe, charge $500 a month for 3 to 4 sessions, and do not mind not getting paid up front, this kind of coaching model might create some momentum for you. Now, I want you to notice what I did first of all. I didn't diss my competition. I never do. I don't even refer to them. To be honest with you, I don't even know who they are anymore, just because I'm so focused on leading. You know, we've been a leader in coaching, consulting, and training for years. I don't have time to pay attention to any of my competitors. Neither do my clients. Why? Because they position themselves with tools and systems that put them light years ahead of anything else that's going on in the market. That's how you can create buzz. That's how you can create this, if you will, this quantum differentiation, this huge positioning gap that your system provides versus what your competition or your competitors or your enemy provides, okay? And I want to help you get rid of them. So I want to dissect now a conversation, all right, that has made me a lot of money. And this is just one of thousands of scripts that we put together for our clients as we build a system of building their presentations and closing deals one-on-one, one-on-two, one-on-many, boardroom style, over a cup of coffee, on Google Hangouts, private Google Hangouts, on webinars, etc. And it's really, really powerful. And if you like this, you will love all the other training that we are doing on our Google Hangouts, and especially at our one-day business acceleration intensives like Christmas at the Canadian Lake Home. Okay, so let's move forward. So the next line in my script, sure, it's the most popular advice with over 99% of coaches doing this. Okay, that is, I mean, just what I just said here in the first sentence, 99% of coaches are doing this today. But any coach who has tried to implement this model and tried to stand out among thousands of coaches in their industry would tell you it's harder and harder to survive and grow predictable cash flow. All right, you following me here? Seeing how we're building a contrasting case for what I do versus what my competitors do. What's worse is that you can never strategically position yourself as the coaching leader in your industry. And that's what most of our clients want. They want to be the leaders in their industry because they know it's so much easier to command maximum fees and royalties. However, anyone who wants to truly build a coaching company knows the importance of using a business model that allows for speed to market, charge big fees, $10,000 to $100,000 and higher, and get paid up front. Yes, it's more expensive to work with me. I get it. And you need to understand that. But you are learning an entirely new set of core competencies to command maximum fees and royalties. It's worth it because you will be able to leverage an inverted business funnel to create massive momentum, learn to repackage your intellectual property, and position yourself as a number one positioned authority to attract premium priced clients. All right, I'm coming back here because I want you to see that. I want you to see how in step 2, we built from step number 1, which was understanding a quick 30-second pitch iteration formula on how to position yourself against the biggest frustrations, the biggest fears that your ideal candidates have for your programs, and most importantly, away from what your competitors. So it's really important that if you're going to talk about what you do, you need to position it from the standpoint of what your competitors fail to do. So they do this over here, but you didn't do this over here. Okay, you getting that? So I want to take us through again what we just covered, step 1 and step 2. We're going to go through it one more time. I'm going to give you another iteration. Okay, this time, so the first time I used New Guru model, and I showed you how to iterate using our formula, and then I showed you on how to dialogue, what you do as a pitch for your coaching, consulting, or training program that really contrasts your coaching business or consulting business or training business from what your competitors do. By the way, this will work in any industry. And this is what we've been doing for the last over 11 years. I've been teaching clients how to frame their advice. We use strategically curated assessment instruments. And if you want to take a look at those assessment instruments and you want to have access to them, you're going to want to take a look at Christmas at the Canadian Lake Home, because you're going to get tools, processes, systems. You're going to watch how I've grown my company. You're going to meet mentors of Lifestyle Entrepreneur magazine. All right. And this is cool. You're going to absolutely love my model. Only though, if you want to be a coaching leader. If you don't want to be a coaching, consulting, training leader, my systems aren't for you. They really aren't. You know, follow somebody else's system. You won't hurt my feelings. You will find out though, I'll tell you this, that the only way to survive in today's marketplace is to be the leader in your industry. No matter what any expert or guru tells you, simply having a book, 96% of people, 96% of experts never make a profit with their coaching, consulting, training company. Did you know that 93% of companies that have a patent fail to make a profit? So I need you to understand that there is a specific way of organizing your advice that has to integrate execution. And execution in today's marketplace is everything. And knowing how to posture, knowing how to frame what you do is crucial. So I want to go through what we just covered. Step 1, step 2 again. I'm going to give you another example. I'm going to use my company as an example, okay? So I'm going to take you through our mastermind monetizer system, what makes it different as opposed to anything that is out there. And another reason why our clients love the mastermind monetizer program, because some of my clients don't necessarily want to be experts, but they want to have a vehicle to attract experts in their industry to facilitate thought leadership. Okay. And when you organize or orchestrate thought leadership and direct connections, and you're going to love what I'm going to show you here in just a second, it just gives you some amazing power, and some power where all of a sudden what you do, people don't really understand what you do anymore, right? They need the contrast of what your competitors fail to do. And you're really taking a principle right out of education-based selling and value-based selling, are the ultimate offer formula. If you're new to our programs, by the way, right now, and you're watching this, you're an Omega Mind client, you definitely want to get go through the ultimate offer formula as part of getting ready. And you've got all the systems, all the programs that I've given you to get ready for a 3-day intensive from November 9th to 11th at the Canadian Lake Home. So that's not Christmas at the Canadian Lake Home, which is in December the 8th. But there's many of you that are watching that are coming in for that. So let's move forward here. I'm going to take you through this again on step number 1 and step number 2. So again, step number 1, define your enemy and make a clear framing statement. So I want to use the for, who, that, unlike formula to iterate your positioning and differentiate your brand to stand out clearly and in a big way from your competition. Remember, it's got to be a big way. It can't be small. It's got to be big. It's got to be hairy and audacious. All right? You getting this? So we want to then, let's start with a 30-second pitch formula for the mastermind monetizer. So here it is. For local business leaders who want local market domination. Okay, I've iterated that, I guess, twice. For local business leaders who want a local market domination, or business leaders who want local market domination, who are dissatisfied with using the same ad agencies, media buys, and marketing tactics as their competitors. Okay, my Mastermind Monetizer program is a new business growth model that provides local business owners an unfair competitive advantage through an exclusive network of high net worth entrepreneurs and business owners. Okay, and unlike other business growth programs, my system allows a select group of entrepreneurs to best lead sources. Should be to share best lead sources and business building systems while excluding your top competitors. So notice the formula: for who are dissatisfied, the name of your program, that what is the key difference that makes the system so much different, and how does this reflect from the standpoint of what your competitors fail to do? Okay, you see the formula right there? Okay, so we're just simply iterating off step number 1 of our formula and getting clear on what you do versus what your competitors fail to do. All right, and on previous training, we've gone into this even deeper and talk about, if you really want to focus on the gap in your market, focus on how your ideal clients perceive what your competitors fail to do, and specifically their negative assumptions or their negative feelings, because the marketplace is so jaded today. But I tell you, I meet so many amazing entrepreneurs wherever I go. They come into the Canadian Lake Home, and when we started talking with them, they were jaded, they were cynical, and I get it, because I've invested in about $400,000 in coaching programs. Lots of them horrible, some of them amazing, with some true business owners and growth experts. And I've just always believed that. And I've invested over $3 million back into my own company. And those are the kinds of processes and systems and of execution and business accelerated teaching learning programs and systems that my clients love. And I invest like I recommend to all my clients. You've got to invest in yourself. You've got to invest in your business. So let's go over now. Let's go into step 2 in our the iteration here. We want to drive home the key difference, which is your magic. Okay? Remember, you've got to have magic for your differentiation. And it's even better if you can diagram out that magic, because your marketplace, your ideal candidates for your programs, remember, they comprehend in visual, spatial, in moving pictures. All right. And the mind remembers in patterns. So that's the importance of framing. Frame what your competitors do over here with a pattern, and then frame what you do over here with a completely different pattern. All right. So let's move forward here into step 2. You want to tell your potential candidate for your program clearly and powerfully what makes you stand out. Okay, we're just reinforcing what we've already covered. So let me go through here now our Mastermind Monetizer in a discussion format, but I'm pitching this. All right, so watch. Look, if you want a safe but slow way of growing a business using the same strategies as your competitors, it's relatively easy to copy what others are doing. Just listen to their ads on the radio, hire the same ad agencies, and use the same lead generation techniques they do. The danger is that you are doing what your competitors are doing, which is also a recipe for business failure. But if you want an unfair competitive advantage that allows you the potential for local market domination, then you will love the thrill of winning big and fast as a local business leader. Notice the contrast: big and fast versus slow, and safe and slow up here. All right. But however, I position that right with by showing also that there's a danger to that. And there's a very real danger to that. Sure, the initial investment in my program is much bigger to work with us. However, you'll be able to swim with the fastest business leaders who are all leaders with the best connections and they're fast implementers. You get to play with a high net worth group of business owners and entrepreneurs who are not competitive with each other. Imagine having access to each of these business leaders' Rolodex of connections, secret lead generation and brand building strategies, all the while locking out your competitors. All right, you see how that works. I took our pitch iteration or 30-second pitch iteration formula, step number 1 and step number 2. I had a very specific pitch conversation with a potential candidate or within a program that I'm bringing them through to fast educate them as to, because we get a lot of candidates for our programs. Trust me, we get hundreds and hundreds of potential candidates for our Lifestyle Entrepreneur magazine. And there's no way I could take everybody. That's why we've become proactive in vetting potential candidates for our programs. Why? Because we simply don't have enough time. I could be publishing our magazine every single day. And we just feature 12 to 15 of the best mentors in the magazine. So you've got to have systems. You've got to have processes. And you have to have a way to frame what you do away from what your competitors fail to do. So I want to just quickly recap here. We covered today 5 rules of education-based selling to set up the importance of knowing how to frame what you do. I spoke to you very specifically about never, ever, ever leading with features, benefits, and advantages about what it is that you do. Why? Because it doesn't provide your potential candidate's mind the ability to attend to what it is that you're going to say because they're already over communicated. And so the new realities of the advisory age means you have to create a new set of core competencies that begin with knowing how to message what you do. And knowing how to message what you do, that creates a very strong emotional experience. Now, how do you do that? Well, you anchor what you do away from what your competitors fail to do. You create a pattern of what your competitors do. And then you create a quantum differentiation for what it is that you do. And I took you through 2 steps. Step number 1 was a basic formula to differentiate your coaching, consulting, or training company. In step number 2, I showed you a couple of scripts using New Guru model and our Mastermind Monetizer systems on how we differentiate those programs away from what exists in the marketplace today. All right. So as a final note here, if you like this and you want more of this and you want to learn in an accelerated way and you want to take a look at how I grow my company, you want to kind of get behind the scenes and watch what I do and learn directly from, and it's not about me, trust me, this day is not about me. This is about you in your company. And this is about you transforming your business right now. This is for leaders in coaching, consulting, and training. And this is for startups who want to lead, and that's part of their legacy is leadership. And you probably know one of our speed to market principles. It's either lead or be led in today's marketplace. It's either have everybody compare themselves with you or you being thrown into with everybody else and having your potential candidates trying to understand how to make the best selection in your marketplace. And right now, you're probably held hostage to a model, an outdated business model that is preventing you from closing deals, high-end deals, preventing you from truly getting on top of your company and growing a coaching leadership company or a consulting leadership company or a training leadership company. And I've designed our one-day business acceleration intensives to build on each moment and to build throughout the day so that it gives you a chance to leave with a very clear plan of action on how to accelerate. And if you're wondering, are you a potential candidate for this? Well, there are three types of individuals, or there's one very specific type of individual that meets kind of three criteria. And number one, they're all quick thinkers. The coaches or startup coaches that come into the Canadian Lake Home are quick thinkers. So if you're not a quick thinker, it's not a program for you. You go back to your overthinking or go back to a program that you think is working for you and stay with that program. But my programs and systems are for quick thinkers. They're for decisive decision taking. All right. It's no longer, well, Glenn, I want to sell a high-end program or service, but I'm scared to, and I'm going to still focus on the traditional business funnel. We tear up the traditional business funnel and we play all out. It's either play big or go home. And the third attribute of the kind of clients that come in and entrepreneurs that come in from all over the world. Americans fly into Detroit or Flint. We're a little over an hour away from each of those airports. Internationally, entrepreneurs fly into Toronto, Pearson International Airport. We're about 2 hours and 20 minutes away. And it's amazing. The clients and the amazing entrepreneurs and coaches that are leaders in their industry that fly in from all over the world. Kel did, who is right here on my lower third. He flew in, and a ton of our mentors in our magazine have flown in because they want to learn from me. They want to learn our systems on how to execute, how we've built one of the fastest growing coaching and consulting companies. So those are the three attributes of the kinds of clients that we attract. And perhaps if you follow the action step there, newgurumodel.com/one day, and you follow the action step there, you can get on the early notification list. If you would like to speed up the process, you can do the following here, and you can phone our international office at 519-542-3043, 519-542-3043. And for those of you that are coming in next week, those are you that are my clients, for our 3-day intensive, our 12-foot Christmas tree will be set up, and we're going to have an amazing 3 days intensive just focusing on implementation. And it's revolutionary because we've got some revolutionary accelerated teaching and learning processes, and merging those with business acceleration processes and templates and action steps allows all of our clients to just take some massive quantum leaps with their business. So take what we covered today. Remember to always frame what you do away from what your competitors fail to do. Follow our two-pronged approach to market differentiation, and enjoy the momentum that it brings you and the positioning power that it brings you, and never, ever, ever be held hostage to following outdated advice, such as leading with a low-end product or service and talking about benefits, features, and advantages of your coaching and consulting and training programs. That won't work in the advisory age. You got to be a lot more strategic. Next Monday, our Business Breakthrough Google Hangout will be a recorded one, as I'll be working very hard with my clients who are coming in for a 3-day intensive from November 9th to November 11th. Our next our next Business Breakthrough Google Hangout, then live one, will be in 2 weeks. I look forward to talking with you then.